This is pure magic. If you are an ADHD parent, this is magic. Do not look away, because this has changed my life, my son's life, when it comes to homework, when it comes to reading, when it comes to anything that feels like school, that he used to resist me on big time. If we have not met, my name is Megan. I am the owner and the founder of Developing Readers Academy. I'm a reading specialist, an ADHD coach. I have ADHD and my son has ADHD. So I've fallen in love with supporting ADHD and neurodivergent kids and unlocking their brilliance, because they are the future. They are the world. They have the best ideas, and they're creative, and they have this energy that, man, is so amazing. So when we can unlock their smarts that are up here, and when we can help them in a way that molds to their brain and not the other way around, this world is going to be such a better place. So this formula right here, like I said, I've been using it for about a year with my son, and it's completely changed how we do homework and reading, and made it so much better, so much easier and quicker, and a time that I'm not fighting with him anymore. It's not him telling me that he hates it. It's not him hiding in his room or yelling or picking a fight with his sister right when I say homework time so that he doesn't have to do it. Now we get it done and we move on with our lives, because this formula played a big role in it. There's other things too, and I teach the other tools that I have. I'm going to put link down below, a kit that I have that I want you to jump into. If this helps you at all, grab this kit, because I give you all the tools, not just this one. But this is a big one. I wanted to give you my favorite. This is one of many good ones, but this is one of my favorites. Here are the 3 steps that I do before anything that feels like school, that helps keep my son focused so that we can get through it quick. The first thing that we do, if my pen works, here we go. This is going to feel too simple to actually work, but I'll explain why it actually works. We do 3 deep breaths together. What? Breathing? Don't we do that all the time? What do you mean? How is that magical? How does that help? Well, these are very intentional breaths. These are breaths with a purpose of getting extra oxygen into your child's brain to help shut down their fight or flight or freeze. No, flight. You know what I'm saying? Fight, flight, or freeze. There we go. When we can intentionally put oxygen into our brain, we're shutting down that. We're stopping the cortisol, which is the hormone in our body that makes us feel stress. We're shutting that down. We're shutting on the nervous system that helps us feel calm, helps us our rest and digest, our parasympathetic nervous system. When we can have our rest or digest system going, then we're ready to learn. For a lot of ADHD kids who are triggered by learning or reading or homework or whatever, and it sends them quickly into that stress mode, I'm not even going to try fight, flight, or freeze. You know what I'm talking about. If they are going into that state quickly, which is part of ADHD, is emotional regulation, impulse control. These things are triggered really quickly. They can't learn. They can't take in what you're saying. They can't read the words and understand what they're reading. They can't do the math assignment and get through it the way that they could if they were regulated. So the first step we do is we regulate. My very favorite technique. I'm going to show it to you. Me and my son, and he knows this is his sign that homework is coming, his reading is coming. As I sit next to him, he's on the couch, usually playing a video game. That's his favorite thing to do. So he gets his little video game time after he gets off the bus. Then I sit down and I say, all right, pizza time. There's no actual pizza. It's pretend pizza. We pretend. I say, what flavor pizza do you have, Keegan? And he holds his hand up and he goes, I have extra cheesy pizza. And I say, well, I have Hawaiian pizza. And he says, yuck. And I say, nuh-uh. And then we move on. And then we smell the pizza and we cool the pizza 3 times. You see what we did? We did deep breaths. We had a playful exchange. Something fun, it kind of is his sign that we're going to be learning here soon. And it regulates him. It helps him get in that rest and digest zone so that he's not going to be fighting me on it, okay? The second step, after we do our 3 deep breaths. Again, this is so easy. I swear, it's so easy, but that's the ones that work, right? 2 minutes of movement. 2 minutes of movement. And this is where ADHD is wild, because for most kids, you've just calmed them down. What do you mean you're going to have them do movement? Are you crazy? Like, that's going to rile them up and get them going. It's different for ADHD kids. It's different because we have sleepy fronts of our brains. Our prefrontal cortex is a little sleepy. And that's why we're constantly seeking ways to stimulate it. And that might be bouncing around. That might be daydreaming about things that we love. There's lots of different ways that we can stimulate it. But we don't naturally have as much stimulation. So when we can proactively get your kids moving and exercising, we can actually wake up our sleepy front brain, add those stimulation in there, and it actually is going to help your child focus so much more. So giving them that little bit of stimulation is a really good way to help them focus. It can be anything. It can be silly dance. Throw some T-Swift on. Come on. Everyone loves T-Swift, right? Throw her on. Do a silly dance. Do push-ups. Do jumping jacks. Chase them around the house. It doesn't matter what the movement is. It can be stretching. It can be standing up and doing some stretching of your body. But move their muscles. Stimulate their prefrontal cortex. This is going to help them focus. So now we have them regulated. Okay, the first step is to help them regulate. The second step is to stimulate the part of their brain that we need stimulated in order to focus. And then one, again, it's so simple. How simple is this? It's crazy. One tiny step. Wait, what? What do you mean by one tiny step? A lot of times at this point, parents and teachers and us adults, we want to tell them the big overarching goal, like do your homework or read a chapter of this book, go clean your room. Guess what? This works for more than just homework. It can work for anything, I swear. But we tell them the overarching goal, and that feels very jarring, very overwhelming for your child. Because there's a lot of executive functioning skills, and that's another part of what is tricky for us as ADHDers is our executive functioning skills. So sustaining our attention, our working memory, organization, planning, emotional regulation, impulse control, starting tasks, all these things are tricky for us. And when we hear do your homework, that is like a tidal wave coming at us. It feels like so much, so many steps, and where do I start? And So instead, what is the first tiny step that they need to take to get the ball rolling, to get momentum in place? Maybe it's get your backpack. Is that the first teeny tiny step that they need to take? Or maybe it's grab your blue folder, whatever, your homework folder, whatever. Maybe it's write your name at the top. Maybe if they're reading a book and you just want them to get some reading time in, maybe it's, hey, read the first sentence. Start with a teeny, and it's going to lag, but it'll come back. My computer is being so weird these days. It is a teeny tiny step where they can get a feeling of accomplishment really quickly. A quick win is a great way to kind of build that momentum. And then it can kind of chunk out, depending on your child. If you have a younger child, they might need tiny steps the entire way. If you have an older child, they might just need it at the beginning to get the momentum going, and then they can go. So it's grab your backpack, write your name. Or no, just grab your backpack. They go grab their backpack and then grab your folder. They grab their folder, write your name. They write their name. And now they might be in the flow where they can be like starting their problems and doing their problems on their own. If they can't and they need a tiny step every step of the way, okay, just tell them the next step. For my son, I cover it up. I literally, because he gets very overwhelmed with his math. He'll get a math assignment 2 times a week where there's 10 problems. I'm going to write 9 because it just fits better. And what I do is I physically take a piece of paper. I don't know how I'm going to do this on here. Oh, I'm going to use the tape. And I cover up with another piece of paper or with a napkin. I cover up most of the problems. If he's really feeling overwhelmed, I'll get 2 of them and I'll show just the problem he's working on. And then once he finishes that one, we'll cover up so he just sees the next problem. It feels so much less overwhelming to him. He doesn't fixate on this is going to take forever because he's just looking at one at a time. So when you can help your child do just one little step at a time, it's going to feel so much more doable, and you're going to get them more in the flow of getting things done, okay? So quick review. And again, before I do the quick review, this is one of many tools that I have to help you with your child's homework, with your child's learning. If it's reading a book, they usually apply to a lot more than just learning. Like I said, this might be the case with cleaning their room. Do the breaths, do the movement, one tiny step. Maybe it's like, just pick up your books. Don't tell them to clean their room. Just say, pick up your books. And then get your clothes in your hamper. And then, so one tiny step at a time, and they're more likely to go in because they're not feeling so flooded and overwhelmed. Okay. So that's my call. This is one of the tools I have. And I have a whole toolkit. I have everything you need so that learning and reading can feel so good and you can unlock your ADHD child's brilliant brain. They have a brilliant brain, and I want to help you do that. So if this was helpful at all, make sure you check out the description and grab it today. Quick review. Start with 3 deep breaths to help regulate your child's nervous system. 2, do 2 minutes of movement. It can be anything your child enjoys, but 2 minutes of movement to help stimulate the part of their brain that needs to be stimulated in order for them to focus. And then one teeny tiny step. What is the first step they need to take? I'm lagging again. Oh, it's so annoying. What is the first tiny step they need to take? And then do a little celebration, even if it's just recognizing it, even if it's just looking at them and say, hey, you just got your backpack out like really easily. Way to go. I'm proud of you. Little recognition that they are making progress. This is a win, that they are taking one step at a time and getting it done. That's going to keep feeding that dopamine, keep feeding that motivation that they want to keep going. All right. Check out the description, grab more tools, get your kids reading and learning at home. If this was helpful at all, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be sharing some other tools that you can start using today. Start using this today. Try it out and see how magical it is. All right. You've got this, and I've got you.